What's up, y'all? We back here with the Eron podcast. I'm here with my guy, Nova Soprano. What's good?
What's good, EG? Been a minute, man.
I know the king of New Jersey.
I can't say the king, man, but I'm good in all the traps. That's all I can say. I'm good in all the hoods.
So, man, how's everything been? How's your music career been? Just grand scheme of things, how's everything been going, just over the past couple months?
I mean, the past couple months, I can't complain, man. You see, we dropped Beatbox in November with the Interstate Runners. We got the whole label now, the whole team, the Runners. Shout out to Zani, J45, Finesse, LAME. Shout out to Turtle 98. Like, we got a whole crew. Shout out to Black Rose, our in-house producer. Like, we got a whole squad, man. Things are rolling. So, like, I spend most of my time juggling between executive work and being in the studio, being an artist.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
so how's that been? How's that, balancing doing a little bit of both?
I mean, I enjoy, like, my crew would tell you, my crew enjoys me being Nova Soprano, but I enjoy being Alpha Yaya, or Yaya the A&R, Yaya the CEO, Yaya the captain of the squad, like the boss. Like, I just enjoy being an executive because I get to really move and shake and bake out here. So, like, but it's really a good comfort zone because I'm comfortable in both. You got to know the business before you got the talent, but you got to know the business. So, like, it's fun for me as an executive because I get to school my team and put them through that, teaching them the ropes of the business. So that way, if God forbid anything happens, Interstate Runner Records could continue without even me being a missing factor because they all know what we need to know.
So let's talk about, how you got the love for music. What got you started, what got you into the industry and everything. How did it get you going?
Well, definitely, I say my love for music comes from my mother and my father. Like, being that they're both from Sierra Leone, West Africa, like, my parents got a love for music, period. And, like, their love for music, like, I was like 2-3 Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, African artists like Pepe Kale Franco, like Anita Baker, Gladys Knight, Whitney Houston, Aretha Franklin, Stephanie Mills, like, it's so many different type. Bon Jovi, Red Hot Chili Peppers, of course, Michael Jackson. My mama loved Michael, Bobby Brown. So, like, that's a love kind of like, my love for music comes from what I grew up around, the sound. So, like, as I got older, I really fell in love with music, but, like, poetry is my first thing. I used to write poetry on the low, but I used to write raps. And then, like, my homies, I used to write love letters for my homies. So my homies read my poetry and was like, yo, bro, you could rap. I was like, yeah, but nobody knew I could really rap. I just kept it to myself. So I think it was like my 9th grade year, my freshman year in high school. Our school closed early because we had like a plumbing problem. So we went back to my man G crib. That's where everybody would hang out because G was like our point guard. Mm-hmm. And G was my big brother. So we was all chilling, everybody rapping in a cypher. And I'm just in the corner quiet. And my man Rich goes, yo, why don't y'all rap? Because they thought I could rap. And G was like, y'all. And G knew because he was my brother. G was like, I don't want that dude to rap. So they let me rap. I spazzed out for 30 minutes. All the girls, the dudes who was the rappers in the school looked like, where'd that come from? G was like, I told y'all leave him alone. But nobody believed it. So when I did that, it was just curtains from there. But I never really took it serious. So I really got to high school, and like my junior year in high school when I moved to Ohio, and my cousin Al Leon like pushed me to rap. So I started developing, but I wasn't like say I was nice like that. Like I used to have my pitfalls where I think I started getting better like my senior year in high school. Like the summer of my going into my senior year, we had a crew called Nebula Records, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we did this record, but then I came home to Jersey to visit. I got home. The record I was on, I wasn't on no more. The record was out. It was a hood classic. And I was like, yo, I went on the record. He's like, you had the weakest verse. And I was like, I said to myself that day, they will never take me off a record. So I start penning heavy, freestyling every chance I got. We be in ciphers. I be rolling up, freestyling. So I developed it to where, like, to this day, they don't take me off records no more.
For sure. So do you think you, like you said, you've moved from different places around the country. Your parents are from a different part of the world, and how that culture has played into you. How do you think that has shaped your, I would say, intellect in making music? Like, how has that shaped you?
It shaped me in a sense by like I would say, hmm, being in I was born in the South.
Hmm.
I was born in Houston, home of Rap a Lot, Scarface, Devin the Dude, Ghetto Boys. You feel me? DJ Screw. That influence of the Southern culture helped me. Then I lived in it. Then I went to Africa, seeing a different, diverse culture in Sierra Leone. I lived for 3 years. That gave me that cultural humbleness. Then coming to Atlanta, growing up around the time of crisscross, and then like coming to the East Coast, I grew up on Nas, Mobb Deep, Reasonable Doubt. My sisters are heavy Jay-Z fans.
Hmm.
So imagine my first rap album I ever listened to was Jay-Z in My Lifetime Volume 1. Hearing Jay's cadence on certain beats, on certain samples. And like now I'm older, I go back and revisit it and be like, yo, wait a minute. That's what he meant when I was like 11. So like that, and then like a Foxy Brown. You start getting to West Side Connection, Dub C, Mac 10, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, The Chronic with Snoop, watching how Snoop get in pocket with that lazy slow flow. Like you really pick up the cadence. Noriega or RZA dropping Bobby Digital or 36 Chambers Wu Tang or Tikal Method Man or Supreme Clientele with Ghostface, Beanie Siegel, The Truth, Memphis Bleak coming of age like Ja Rule's Vinny Vici, like 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying or For the Love of the Dollar, Drag On opposite of H2O, DMX is Flesh in My Flesh, Blood in My Blood. It's hot, hell is hot. It's hot. You feel me?
Hmm.
Those type of things, the locks, money, power, respect, or we are the streets. Like gave me that respect for music to where like you got to love it as a student before you became a teacher in it.
Hmm.
And there's still times I find myself like I'll be finding myself having to put myself in order in pockets. You feel me? So like it shaped me in a way like I don't try to be like anybody.
So like I know, when you talk about sports and music, they go hand in hand. And you just talked about being a student of music. How important is that, to any person, not just an artist, but to any person? How important is it to be a student of music?
You got to know your craft. Music is a way of life. It's communication. You feel me?
Hmm.
Me and you might not. All right, boom. I'll give you an example. Right, Bob Marley.
Hmm.
Most of the people that love Bob Marley were outside of Jamaica. You feel me?
Yeah.
Bob Marley had white people, Europeans wearing dreadlocks, smoking spliffs. Bob Marley inspired guerrilla fighters during the apartheid movement against apartheid in South Africa, the guerrilla fighters for independence in Mozambique who were fighting in Angola. Bob Marley inspired a whole generation. That's his music alone. He wasn't no, he was just a person that we call like people consider Bob Marley a prophet by what he prophesies in lyrics and his music. So music brings people together. And if you say you want to be a singer, songwriter, producer, a musician, all right, prime example, a trumpet player. You want to be a trumpet player, what's the first thing you go pick up?
A
A
trumpet.
Miles, a Miles Davis. You gonna pick up a trumpet, but you gonna want to know who the best are, right? You gonna go pick up a
Yeah.
Miles Davis record.
Hmm.
You feel me? You gonna pick up a Satchmo record, Louis Armstrong. You feel me? Listen how he played that horn. A rapper, you go right now. A rapper, who you gonna go pick up? You gonna pick up a big album, a Nas album, a Jay-Z album, a Tupac album. You gonna pick up an NWA album. You gonna pick up a rapper, a Sugar Hill Gang, because that's where rap started from. You gonna pick up NWA, how rap was on the West. You gonna pick up a Public Enemy album. You gonna study your craft.
Hmm.
And from what you study, that's what you gonna pick. I'm not gonna like you gonna pick little things that you like. You might pick Jay-Z's Double Entendres. You might pick Tupac's rawness. You might pick Nas's intellect. You might pick NWA's radical stance, how they were just raw and express what was going on at the time. But then you just mix it up like some gumbo and serve it.
So,
That's cool.
going into my next question, how big is just in general rap culture, hip hop culture to everyday society, everyday community? Because we've seen so much of it grow over the past 15 years that now it's become so huge. And how has it played a part in your life, as well as how has it played a part in where you live and on being on the East Coast?
Well, if you look at hip hop is the youngest genre of music, but it's the most influential.
Hmm.
Hip hop is global. And for me, being from the East Coast, I take pride in it because I'm from Jersey, but where did hip hop originate from? South Bronx,
Hmm.
Kool Herc and the Big Bertheys. So it's my soundtrack. It's not even just my everyday life. It's my soundtrack to life. I
Hmm.
could tell you certain songs where I was at when they came out. I could tell you where I was when I heard Ether, when I heard Takeover. I could tell you where I was as a kid when I heard Hit 'Em Up. How I used to bet. We used to fist fight with dudes over who was better, Biggie or Pop.
Hmm.
I could tell you where I was when Pop got killed. I could tell you where I was and where I was. I was at my auntie's house on March 9th with my cousin Cho and my other cousin Hamid, and we were playing ball in the crib when Angie Martinez came on crying. And we heard it on MTV News First. Quote later, they broke the news that Biggie had been killed in LA. We cried. That's how hip hop affected us. I could tell you when Volume 2 dropped, I was a freshman in high school.
Hmm.
Edison High, I could tell you on where I was when Flex played Money Cash Holes. I was on the school bus coming home from school when Flex dropped bombs on Money Cash Holes. You feel me?
Yeah.
I could tell you Blueprint where I was. I was in school in September 11th. I was on my way to actually go pick up. The whole day, the plan was, go to class, go to lunch, drive to the record store, pick up a copy of the Blueprint. When the towers fell, we was in class when the towers fell. Like I could tell you, it's my sound. It's hip hop is a soundtrack to my life. It's my culture. It's what embodies me as a person. It plays a pivotal part in my. I'm angry. What I'm gonna do? Yo, boom! I'm popping this CD. 9 out of 10 is gonna be a J record. This life forever. You feel me? Like hip hop
For
plays.
sure.
It plays a major role in my life. Like it's my soundtrack.
All right. So next question is how does music and sports go hand in hand? Particularly, how does hip hop and I would say basketball go hand in
Come on,
hand,
man.
or hip hop and NFL? I want to hear from your perspective.
Ball players want to be rappers. Rappers want to be ball players. Right or wrong?
That's right. I mean, just a culture, and that's one thing that I've always said.
It's I say sports is like music. It's the three things you got in the hood.
Yeah.
You either could play football, you play ball, you play baseball,
Hmm.
or you know how to rap, or
Yeah.
you knew how to trap. It was one of the, being around. You feel me?
Yeah.
And most of the ball players who grew up in most of these urban cities grew up around some of the top rappers.
Yeah.
Like with me, I went to school with all the top. I could say I went to Seton Hall University, even though I'm from the hood. I got a college. I'm a talented nigga, but everybody who you like when you was at Seton Hall,
Hmm.
you knew of me before I even met you.
Yeah.
I knew who you were. I knew who you were before you even got there. I hit you up on a humble before you even left Indiana. Like, yo, Rose, welcome to Seton Hall. You ever need anything? Let me know.
Hmm.
And me and you to this day, when you transfer, I said, bro, you ever need me, just pick up the phone. I'll jump on a flight, whatever, because you my man.
For sure.
Me and Angel Delgado, Mike Anenzi, Kadeem Carrington, Desi Rodriguez, Derek Gordon. Like I've been blessed to be friends with every top seat in the Hall basketball team since 2015, 2016 when we won the Big East.
So how has Seton Hall played? Just the entire university, not just the basketball, but the entire atmosphere. How's that played a role in your life?
Man, it plays a great deal
Yeah.
in a sense of like I wasn't an athlete, but I had the respect of the student body. Like
Hmm.
people respected me in a way that you would respect like an elder or OG. And like it played a lot because whenever I'm like, prime example, the new album I'm working on, like it was supposed to come out like 2 years ago, but I took my time with it. Every time I'm at a game, yo, when A48 dropping, yo, what's up with the album? What's up with this? What's up with that? Like it influenced me because sometimes I could be walking on campus and I could see something and just get an idea to spark for a record.
Mm-hmm.
I could be sitting courtside and I get an idea for a record. I could be conversating with a Miles Powell, with like with the best guard in the country, Miles Powell, and I get it off our conversation. I get something. I could be joking with Mamu Alessandro Mamushkelivili, aka Mamu 23, and I get a record. I come up with a freestyle and go online and drop a Mamu freestyle. When he hit the buzzer beater, I was courtside for that, and I was like, it was emotional because that day was cancer. It was Cancer Awareness Day.
Mm-hmm.
That was the second time his father had seen him play in history. He hadn't seen his pops in a year, and his pops beat cancer. What better way for the right person? Who else could hit that game winner but him?
Yeah.
So like them excitements, you get bars off of those type of things, and then you got genuine friendships with people because like prime example, Romero Gill, defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
And it's bar work. And on top of that, like ball players, they move right. Ball players and rappers move alike. So like you gonna see them and like a ball player always comes up growing up like I want to be a rapper. A rapper coming up with words like I want to be like him. So it's like a perfect marriage made in heaven.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with that.
You
So
can't.
we're gonna listen to some of your demos.
Oh, that's not even demos. With the records I sent you, those are off the new album 848.
Well, we're just going to let you want them. You want us to play the entire thing, or just a couple first?
Pick a record and then afterwards we can talk about it.
All right, for sure. We're gonna
What you
screen
gonna
share.
start with? Because I know you had it to yourself, so I know you're gonna start with something crazy.
Can you see?
Oh, you playing Fan?
Yep.
Featuring my man.
Hey, this beat is dope. I like the second one.
Like Mills Lane, let's get it on. Welcome to my sex room, anything goes. I saw you position and touch your toes. While I MVP stroke with my B-boy tactics. And she replied, Marathon man, hope you can keep up. By the third, I watch Charlie Horse creep up. Kama Sutra expert, ladies first. Call me a strike man, I'll quench your thirst. Swallow my kid, your stomach's babysitting. Next chick, oh, I'm just kidding. All up in the kitten from the bedroom to the kitchen. Addicted to my system like a bean, got you twitching. I'm feeling so Tom Cruise, mission accomplished. Now tell me, who shit is this?
Put my name on it, I make you say my name in the morning. I make it ride and stay running. If a minute girl say something more, boost my birds if I go again. Girl, I ain't playing. It's just one round, we can go again. I'm a savior.
Romance, no finance, just trying to slide his dick in your finance. Show you how a real nigga do 3,000 boy. No common sense, pussy so good, call it Miss Badu.
Yeah, you definitely could play this at a club for real.
Yeah, me too. Sex so good, got you acting like a psycho. Breaking down your body and moving like a psycho. Anticipating, know you've been waiting. You're so patient. Tell me how you think went. Love doctor, certified bedrocker. After tonight, call me big.
Hey, I had some of them dances earlier. Hey, I might be doing that to the next one.
He don't move proper, only if he knew his BM or Papa.
Say my name in the morning. I make it ride and stay running. If a minute girl say something more, boost my birds if I go again.
I'm playing.
It's just one round, we can go again. And I'll make you say, girl, I ain't playing. And I'll make you say.
Oh yeah, we about to get to my song right here. This next one, you already know I like this next one.
You always like the records where I go on them slow flows and I get crazy on it. You really like type of records though.
See, when you go old school, that's something. Hey, you be flowing on that one. Whenever you try to go old school, that's where it's at.
I'm East Coast dude. This our type of bop. We got our sound, but a lot of dudes forgetting our sound. Shout out to Clico Gino for the hook. This one produced by Corey. This was produced by my man, super producer Corey Orlando.
Yeah, that
And
was dope.
it was just one of those nights in the studio. This one, "Do for Love," is like more personal because it was about somebody.
Did you want to talk about fam real quick?
Oh, yo, go ahead. You ask me questions. What's up?
I mean, talk about where that inspiration came from, and
All right, FAN is an acronym. I don't know if I could say this. I don't know if I could curse on your podcast.
yeah, you can.
All right, FAN is an acronym for fuck all night. So like you was asking, right? Yo, come on, when you a rapper, especially like you a known rapper, you ain't famous, but you known in the streets and you got a reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Girls always like want to play that fan role. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like you got fans like groupies. So I said, what's the new lingo I could come with? And I was just thinking, I was sitting there like, and I was cracking jokes like fuck all night. I was like, fan. So my man Corey Orlando had given me this beat like a minute ago. He gave me that beat like maybe 2017. And I just had it in the tuck. So I heard it. And I was like, all right, boom. I pulled it out of the file. I was like, oh shit. No need to talk like Mills Lane. Like I got my smooth on it.
Yeah.
So like I did the record and then like I was recording at a studio, but then the studio crashed. They lost all our files and like we had to part in ways, no business ties because I felt like they felt one way, I felt another way. So I just parted ways with them and I started working at my man Bless McFly's studio on Purple Penthouse.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in the studio, like a whole bunch of group, like the runners and a lot of people, like a lot of artists wanted to run. The entire runner gang was in there the night I recorded the first verse, right? I recorded the first verse and I had my homegirl there. It's my homegirl on the intro. My homegirl came through to see me because she was about to flee out of town.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yo, do me this. She came to chill with all of us. So I was like, yo, can you do me this solid? I need you to jump on it. That's why in the beginning you hear us laughing because we was cracking up about this.
Yeah.
I had to kick everybody out of the studio because everybody was like J45 and then was being knuckleheads about this. Get the fuck out. So it was me, her in the booth, and we did that. It was like quick take. So I put the first verse down, and then I left. So I came back 2 weeks later because I had like 2 songs to wrap up. Zani was rapping. Me and Zani were wrapping up our projects. So like we called it owner's box. Only media blackout was just me, her, our business partner Don Chico, and my OG, my homeboy Art Rob came through. My man Kid Promise there. My other homeboy Nico Samaj, he R&B artist was there. So we came in. Clico came in. Me and Clico at a ball game. I took Clico to the Georgetown game. So I was telling him I got this record. So he's like, yo, just let me know. So Clico had a session somewhere. He pulled up. So when he came in, I did the second verse. I did the whole song over the first verse, then added the second verse. I was like, all right, boom, left it. So Clico comes in and was like, yo, P-Dot, put the Pro Tools session for that record on the USB and then bring it to Studio A. So we're at Studio B working. So Nico and I are working on a record. Imagine this, right? Nico's doing a hook. I'm running from Studio B to Studio A. Clico's sitting there just vibing with this record. So he's vibing. So Zani come in. I said, Zah, you record this. I'm about to run back to Studio B. I run into Studio B. Nico was like, yeah, I just finished the hook. I heard the hook one time. Boom. I'd already started writing the record in my head. I walk in the booth, one take, knock the first verse out. I was like, y'all good? Yeah, ad-lib everything. I'm about to leave. I'll be back. I'm walking out of the booth, doing a record with Nico. I'm coming up with the second verse for our record, but I'm thinking about what Clico's about to come up with in Studio A. So I run from Studio B to Studio A. I'm sitting there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm vibing. I'm like, all right, this shit crazy. He's got oohs my back. He's like, if you say my name on it, say my name on it. I'm like, oh, crazy. So Nico sitting in the lounge. I walk out. I whisper to Nico what my second verse was for the mirror. He just looked at me like, you really just came up with that while you running back and forth? I'm like, yeah. I ran back to Studio B, walked in the booth, put the second verse down because I was like, when I put the first verse down, I had the first verse in my head. I was coming up with, so when I was walking out the booth after I recorded the first verse, I came up with the second verse to run in Studio B. Ran out of Studio B, walked back in the studio, ran around to Studio A, walked back in the Studio B, just curved, walked in the door, went in the booth. Everybody like, oh, okay. It's like, all right, cut it, make it 12 bars. Like, cool, ad-libbed it. Then my doubles, then my ad-libs, boom, record good. Everybody loved it, boom, ran out. I didn't even listen to the playback. I didn't, because I already knew what it, in my head, I'm like, yo, the verse gonna be fire. I jumped out, ran back to Studio A. Let me say my name on it. Let me say my name when I'm balling. And I make it ride in the shade running. Wait, Bezos, say something. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oops, my bad. There I go again. Girl, I ain't playing. I'm like, oh, yeah. That's when I knew my album was a classic, when I heard that record.
All right, let's go to "Do for Love."
Ah, my favorite. That's one of my favorites. That's gonna be a ladies' cut.
All right, for sure.
Do for Love is gonna be a ladies' cut.
We gotta go to it. Yeah, there we go.
Let's get 'em.
Hey, I like this song, man. This like brings me back to when I was over in the East Coast.
Yeah. And it's that, yo, summertime vibe, riding with the chick, down back or in the park with the lady vibe.
Yeah.
It's like I seen an angel walk out of heaven through my peripheral vision. Let me give you her measurements. I'm 5'8", brown eyes, caramel skin with a cocaine smile. Drop any brother wild. Set my heart pacing while my mind.
Hey, yo, I can't dance. My mom be talking about me all the time.
What's your name? How you doing? Skip the nonsense. You're the one I'm pursuing. She's so simple, yet so elegant. Very intelligent. These racket chicks are relevant. The type of love she gives make a brother turn celibate. Write down his vows and change I do.
This is my second time listening to the song, so I gotta get the lyrics down.
Trips in December, things we do for, things we do for. Thousand trips in December.
To my J.A. keys to my Swiss A. Atop the Eiffel Tower, cuddle, sipping on Spizay. Slow dancing, romancing, singing fat and Jacques as we spin through Champs-Élysées. Private dinner for two. At Shangri-La, the love so pure, it's patriotic.
Lama Sayed.
Over my baby, shit can get drastic.
Fight that love right like a yellow jacket.
Wishing on a star, chauffeur driven in a Rolls Royce.
See, I can't dance, but hey, this song got good flow to it.
Son, you should keep her. Ask Bezos, perfect marriage is achieved. I knew that the day that I met you, I wasn't trying to bed you, I'm trying to wed you. 13 carats on that left hand special. Just know your love to me is essential, right?
Yo, this was the toughest record to record out of every one of them on the album.
Why was that?
Man, this record took me 2 weeks to record.
Really?
I could record any type of record. When it comes to love records, it's tough for me to record.
Why is that?
Because I gotta Do for Love is actually about somebody.
Yeah.
It's about somebody that I was with.
Mm-hmm.
And like somebody that I'm no longer with, but I will always love them. So like when I sat back and came up with it, that was around the time, like you heard the reference when I said, ask Bezos, perfect marriage isn't cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Even my mama noticed, says, son, you should keep her. Ask Bezos, perfect marriage isn't cheaper. It's around the time Bezos got caught with that little broad that her brother sold his nudes to the tabloids, and his wife found out. Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon.
Yeah.
Like that whole, and then it was during a French protest, the Yellow Jacket. So like, I recorded the first, I went in the studio the other day. I'm like, And like I seen an like I had the first verse. It took me an hour and a half to record that first verse because I just kept coming up with crazy stuff in my head. I'm like, yo, this ain't gonna go right. This ain't go. But then like I sat back, and when I make love records, it got to be something like I'm going through, somebody I like or I'm with, and like I was talking about the first time I met Shorty, how I was feeling inside. That's why I said it's like I seen an angel walk out of heaven through my peripheral vision. Let me give you her measurements. 5'8", brown eyes, caramel skin, with a Colgate smile, drop any brother wild. So I'm telling you the whole time how I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the second verse, I'm telling you like what I'll do to protect what I got. And that second verse, like my homeboy Styles Foreign, shout out Styles, and my partner Crom, Ginger Rogers, they were in the studio when I recorded. They was like, yo, I've never seen you take this long to record a verse. Cause I really had to like put my all into it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like love songs are tough for me, but like I have to be in a zone. But now I'm getting accustomed to recording them, so like it just flows natural. But that record was special because it was actually for somebody, and everybody loved it so much that it made my album. Like we're arguing right now because everybody wants me to drop that as my first single to shoot a video for.
Dang, that's dope. So let's get to the last song.
What's the last? Oh, Moment.
Yeah, moment.
Oh, I know you gonna ask me questions about this one.
Yeah.
This was actually one of my favorites.
I want you to be my pimp.
Pimp?
Yeah, I want to sell this pussy for you.
Sell a pussy? Shit, I ain't trying to sell that one. I'm trying to keep that one for myself. Besides, I ain't no pimp. I'm a motherfucking hustler.
Look, babe, I'm just trying to get you off your feet. Because pimps don't hustle hoes, do that shit. It's that groove right here, you feel me? Hey, yo, Golden. Hey, yo, Clark's on the gators, suits freshly tailored, cufflinks embroidered, true to hard player. Dragon turn believers out of naysayers. Armored up in a guard, sipping coated different layers. Super fly the way I walk and talking. No pain, no gain tricks making me profit from. Maine to Spain, ain't no young Goldie, man. Pineapple to the big apple, forbidden fruit, have food, no misfortune, she's comfortable. Breaking all the rules like a gangster do. So legendary. Even when I'm dead and buried, they'll remember me. G-O-O-D got the I at the E. So simple and plain, pimping in my pedigree. Break a bitch at world record pace, who better than me? Under 30, I can have your bitch walking on the shore. Brag the riches, I show her what the glamorous life like. Pinky ring shining, champagne spilling, me dragging to the floor. Can we get a moment? It's a player's anthem, pure game spin, and now watch who she choosing. Can we get a moment? Return of the slick talker, whole stroll supplier. City to city, titty to titty. I go hard on a bitch when it come to the chips. Only one model, hit the track, catch a day, complain. The game ain't dead, these hoes scared, misguided, undecided. So I introduce them to that big city, bright lights, glamorous life. You know the type, Sheila E. sung about. Now let me explain what the whole game about. 5 on my team doing the stack of night. I can stop selling, work the way these bitches out here selling ass. I be sure day and night, dressed to impress. She looking right, sipping OJ. For the love of money, she's your type, blowing Barry White.
This definitely got Chicago flow.
Candy paint dripping, no candy rain. I'm so for real on a mission, searching for a new addition. They wouldn't understand what we got his in mint condition. This thing called ring shining, champagne spinning, and me dragging to the floor. Can we get a moment? It's a player's anthem, pure game spin, and now watch who she choosing. Can we get a moment? In the beginning, you will remember, God created the earth, and he put on this earth Adam and Eve. Now, Adam was entrusted with the directive to make sure that no one touched the fruit of good and bad. Now, because Adam was a square, he allowed the bitch to make him go against what God told him to do. Since that time, there's been a conglomerate of individuals entrusted to be the caretakers of the uterus. These are the gentlemen that we call pimp. Pimp meaning pussy is my priority. Pimp. Professional individuals
I swear to
managing
God.
pussy. Pimp. possessor of intellectual mind power, pimp. So therefore, without further ado, unless you get yourself confused with real pimps, because maybe you heard an album, maybe you sang a song, or maybe because you got a fur and some snakeskin shoes, so that you don't get yourself confused with the pimp hierarchy, I now present to you.
So that was the last song.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that one.
All right. Moment. It was actually, I was home. I was up one night at about 4 a.m. and I was like web surfing on YouTube or that. Like when I can't sleep, I got insomnia. So like I just go looking online to watch stuff. And I don't know if you remember the rapper Tila.
Yep.
All right. Tila was on Power 103. And Tila, that's one of my, I love Tila. Anybody who know me know I'm a big Tila 8-Ball MJG Swab House fan.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yo, and Tila hadn't dropped nothing in a minute. So I went and pressed play. Tila got on the tux, Tila player.
Mm-hmm.
Tila straight player from his head down to the gators on his feet. So I was watching an interview and Tila was like, yo, everybody making gun bust and drug dealing music, but ain't nobody making music for the players no more. They ain't talking about the players, you know what I mean? Like, manicure, the fingernails manicure, the pinky ring shiny, you know what I mean? Stepping out with the Maury Gators on, Stacey Adams. And I was like, yo. And then I really started, so I was like, I watched the interview on repeat for like 2 hours straight. That one part, I just kept running it back. And I was like, yo, and I sat down after I paused it around 4 in the morning. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, Tila really making sense.
Yeah.
All we hear is this mumble rap drill music, but you don't hear nothing for the players. The gator stuff is you feel me?
For sure.
Pimping, straight pimpology pimping, like that Don Juan, Pimpin' King, you feel me? You don't hear that gang no more, Young Gold, like, you feel me? So I was like, yo, let me turn on my alter ego Young Goldie real quick and make a record. So like I had this beat, my man M Easy gave it to me 2017. So I just went through the files and I was like, yo, boom, them horns, the stylistics. Let the sad show begin, honey, honey, step right on in. I was like, ooh, right there. And I started singing, that's me on the hook singing. Mm-hmm. I was like, pinky ring shining, champagne spilling, me dragging to the flow. Can we get a moment? And I went to bed. I woke up. I went in the shower that morning. I kept saying it. I was like, "It's a player's anthem, pure game spit." And I watch who she choose. And I was like, "Oh, I got something." So I went to the studio. I booked a 3-hour session. I walked in with the engineer, SK Sounds, and I said, "SK, I ain't making no drop. I'm like, I don't want to rap about trapping today. I don't want to rap about nothing." I was like, "Today, I feel like being player." He's like, "What's up?" I got an idea for a record, like a straight player record for the players, like where you gonna have to put your tux on, get your pinky ring on, expensive little rolly, and get your pimp on, walking with a bunch of stable of bras, a whole selection of a whole collection. You feel me? And he's like, all right, what you got in mind? I was like, all right, boom, we're about to go search for this movie. Pimpin' Ken shot a movie called The Game, right?
Yeah.
Mac 10's in it. What you heard in the beginning was Mac 10's character, Mac, talking to one of the hoes, his first hoe ever. And then the back part was what's his name? Cat Williams.
Yeah, Cat Williams.
So we found everything. It took like an hour, and I told him where to chop up. So boom, he put him in place. He's like, "What you about to do?" I played the record. He heard the beat. He's like, "Boom!" I sang the hook. He's like, "Oh shit, that's about to be crucial." And I just went in the booth. I wrote it all in my head. I went in the booth, and my bad. I went in the booth and I transformed, like I wasn't Nova Soprano and I was Young Goldie for the day, you feel me? So I transformed, put my pimp hat on and just started talking that ism, like just started just giving a bitch gang, you heard? And then like, after we finished the record, I came out, everybody was like, yo, he was like, it's me, him in the studio, he's like, all right, boom. And I caught a lot of heat from that from my shorty at the time. Like my shorty at the time was not happy. Like, she was not happy with me. She was like, yo, it's already that women are already being degraded. Why are you doing that? Da, 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 da. I'm like, listen, I'm not degrading women. I'm telling you, it's a way of life. Yes, to a woman who doesn't know, like, it's degrading, and I understand it, and I totally respect where you're coming from. I'm like, but this song come out is going to restore balance in the game because you're showing the players that, yo, yeah, y'all still matter out here. Everybody know there's no business like show business, but there's no business like hoe business. You feel me? Pimpin' been around since the age of time, since the beginning of time. It's gonna be around after they turn the lights on for this motherfucker. So why not talk that talk? And the inspiration I got for that was like me being around a couple of my OGs that are pimps. So like when I decided to do this record, I pulled up on them. They was like, it's like the young pimp came to get game. And I sat down and like we really talk about like when I go see them, like I go see them like once a year because I know when I go see them once a year, what they give me for that one time I go see them, it lasts me till I need to come back the next year to see. So we sitting there and these some flamboyant dudes, like they clock 30, 40 bands a week. Mm-hmm. No drug dealers, they just clock. They clock heavy. I'm just giving you I'm just throwing a number, but they clock heavy figures off the game of a pimp. Like we sitting there and I'm just picking their brain and as they talking to me, I'm just like, And I soaked it all up like a sponge. And when I got in the car, I just started thinking and that shit started coming. Like the rap albums, it started coming to me. So I went to the studio that day and that's when it like, boom, it was fresh in my brain and I came and I just put it down. And a lot of people love that record, but excuse me, a lot of females, especially like I know a lot of females, I take a lot of flack from that record. Even my mom was hot about that record.
I definitely understand that.
But the game is the game, though.
Well, to end off the interview, I always like to ask, especially artists, how do you want to be remembered? And where can everyone follow you at? What streaming platforms can they listen to your music on? And, give some to the people.
Like, first and foremost, EG, we family. So, like,
for sure,
it wouldn't be right if I didn't start my media press runs for this new project if I didn't start it with you. Because we go back. When I dropped my first project, 2017, Cornerstone Chronicles, you was the first person I gave it to critique it.
Yeah.
I always appreciated how you gave me fair judgment on it. Even certain songs you didn't like, you comments on why you didn't like them, and you said why you liked it. And I took that. That's why this album, I did it differently because I went back before I started recording this. Like, every time I record a song, I read your critique on what I did before. I was like, I got to make sure EG, when he get this project, he going to be like, I ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing. I'm always big on honesty. It was crazy. That was 2017. I was, 19 years old? I was a young dude. It was crazy. I look back at that article. I misspelled like 2 or 3 words. I'm like, man, I was a young dude back then.
You was a young boy coming up, but you was hungry. But look, though, it was your hunger that made me respect it. And then our relationship, I was like, I know if I give it to him, he going to tell me, like, OG, I'm gonna do it right, but I don't expect me to kiss your ass, even though you my OG. I love you, so I'm going to keep it G with you.
Yeah.
But, like, that's one respect. But to go back to your question, right?
Yeah.
I want to be remembered for who I am as an individual.
Mm-hmm.
Every generation has that person that sticks out. I want to stick out to say, yo, he remained true to the art. He remained true to the culture. But most importantly, he didn't compromise his integrity to give y'all his music and give y'all his truth.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be remembered as somebody that put people in position. Like, I got the interstate runners. My crew, we the hottest thing in Jersey right now since Fish Grease. Like, we tearing shit up. And everybody knows us. The top guys in Jersey know us. Even the bottom feeders know us.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to leave that legacy imprint that when the next artist come along, you won't know, like, yeah, that come from the umbrella of Nova, Soprano, and the Interstate Brothers. But, like, it's just like you want to be remembered for who you are.
For sure.
If you don't know what you stand for, you don't know where you're going.
So to end things off, just tell people where they can follow you at, where they can stream your music.
You can find me on all streaming platforms. You can follow me on IG at NOVASOPRANO, all one word. Same thing as Twitter. Same thing as Facebook. I got a project coming out Right now, we just finished wrapping up. We're in the mix and mastering stages of my album 848, my debut album, which should be dropping anytime in the next 2-3 weeks. I don't have a tentative date yet, but it'll be out within the next 2 to 3 weeks, and it's gonna be a classic. That's all I got. I'm not saying it's. Let me rephrase that. I'm not saying it's classic. I'm going by what the people around me who've heard it, who've worked on it, who've heard records off of it, who've been in the recording process saying, "Oh yeah, you created a masterpiece." I feel like it's my Mona Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
And this time you're gonna get like a lot of truth from me. You're gonna learn a lot of things about me on A4A. That if you didn't know about me, you would know that.
For sure.
But just follow me. I'm on all streaming platforms, so just be on the lookout for A4A. Just look, be on Zani got 2 singles out right now. She got her single "Thank You," "Like Me," and "Move" out 3 actually. J45's coming with his single soon. Finesse will finishing up his EP. Turtle 98 just dropped his single BYS that's on all streaming platforms. Lame coming with his project. Black Rose, our in-house producer, coming. So like we out here, the machine going. So like we grinding.
For sure. Well, we can't wait for what's next, man. Thank you for taking the time out to do this podcast, man. It means a lot. The
Ain't no
podcast
problem,
as it
man.
keeps growing, and we wish you all success over here.
Hey, thank you. And to the fans out there, man, make sure y'all tune in to Eron Gordon podcast, man, for real. You're going to get real talk on the music culture and on sports. I put my stamp of approval.
All right, for sure. Thank you.
All right, Playboy.